strong social protection mechanisms and enhance legal safeguards for women, girls, and other vulnerable groups. Our initiative would include enacting comprehensive laws and policies designed to dismantle harmful social norms, to enhance access to crucial resources and opportunities, particularly for young women, and reduce overall vulnerability within our society. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to take a moment to commend you and this House for your unwavering support and guidance, which were instrumental in passing the Affirmative Action Act of 2024, Act 1121, during the 8th Parliament of the 4th Republic. My government is dedicated to successfully implementing this act to ensure gender equity across the political, social, economic, educational, and cultural spheres. The Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Protection is actively collaborating with relevant stakeholders to guarantee that this act is fully operational, including attaining the 30% target quota for women in political appointments. I'm pleased to report that women currently make up 23.21% of all appointments, and we are diligently working towards reaching the targets set forth in Act 1121. I'm, however, concerned about achieving gender balance, especially at the local government level. Very few women have mustered the courage to apply for the positions of metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives. And unfortunately, the few who have courageously applied have been edged out on very flimsy and parochial grounds. It is my hope that the National Constitution Review Conference will clear a pathway for the election of DCEs. The Gender Ministry will then be obliged to encourage and support more women to apply and stand for these elective positions. In our pursuit of empowering women, Mr. Speaker, we'll establish the Women's Development Bank. This will be a specialized financial institution designed to support businesses owned and led by women through the provision of low-interest loans and tailored financial services offered under very flexible terms. Consultative processes are underway to ensure the successful launch of this bank. And as part of our 120-day social contract, the Minister for Finance is going to allocate initial funding for the Women's Development Bank in the upcoming budget that will be presented to this House. Mr. Speaker, we're also implementing measures to expand the Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty program under our Big Leap initiative. As we work towards completing the Ghana National Household Data Census by this year, 2025, we'll reassess the status of LEAP beneficiary households to facilitate the enrollment of new beneficiaries. Mr. Speaker, we are committed to enhancing the legal framework surrounding disability rights by passing the Persons with Disability Amendment Bill. Additionally, we will introduce a legislative instrument to strengthen further the provisions of the Persons with Disability Act, Act 715 of 2006. We reiterate our commitment to ensuring that individuals with disability have access to free tertiary education and equal opportunities to pursue their academic and professional ambitions. Mr. Speaker, the government intends to ensure the implementation of legislation that enjoins public and private employers to reserve 5% of their employment for persons with disabilities. I am aware that a private member was shepherding this bill. Government is going to support that motion in order that 5% of all employment is reserved for persons with disability. Mr. Speaker, Ghana's sports sector, once again, which was a shining example of excellence within Africa, now finds itself at a very critical juncture. Historically, our nation has been celebrated and has had remarkable achievements in boxing, football, and athletics. Unfortunately, this is no longer the case. However, recent years have unveiled depressing structural deficiencies in administration, funding, infrastructure, and talent development. Immediate and comprehensive reforms are imperative to reclaim our rightful place on the global sports stage. Mr. Speaker, we will develop a comprehensive national sports policy to align with international norms. This policy will be accompanied by an exhaustive review of the Sports Act of 2016, that is Act 934, and the rigorous enforcement of the Sports Regulations 2023 LI 2477. Infrastructure development remains paramount in our strategy. The government is committed to refurbishing existing national stadia, completing youth resource centers, and constructing new sports facilities in the new regions. We'll also prioritize community recreational facilities to foster greater participation in sports at the grassroots level. Recognizing the critical role of youth development, we're implementing a significant overhaul of grassroots sports with the establishment of the School Sports Authority. This body will oversee structured inter-school competitions and talent identification initiatives essential for nurturing future sporting champions. Over 60% of Ghana's elite athletes have emerged from these school sport programs. The ministry has now been renamed the Ministry of Sports and Recreation. To acknowledge the significance of recreation, we will launch a National Recreation Day. This will be a monthly initiative centered on community engagement alongside an annual National Recreation Festival. These initiatives will encourage keep fit activities and promote active lifestyles. It will promote traditional games and strengthen community bonds. Next month, the senior national team, the Black Stars, which is now a pale shadow of its former glory, will play 2 World Cup qualifying matches. I've instructed my office and the Minister for Sports and Recreation to hold the Ghana Football Association accountable to the people of Ghana as we prepare for these games, especially regarding the budget of the FA. There will be no secrecy in how much the government spends on the national teams. The budgets presented by the FA and other sports associations must be known by the public. After all, it is the taxpayers' funds that are used to fund these activities. The reduction in government expenditure and waste reduction applies to all sectors of the economy, including the Ministry of Sports and Recreation. Mr. Speaker, culture and creative arts remain vital cornerstones of our national development strategy, playing a significant role in job creation, cultural exchange, and economic growth. In recent years, the ministry has launched transformative initiatives to position Ghana as a premier global destination, and this is positive.